UK government announces a 5 years visa for unskilled workers. No Ielts required, no work experience required. That is a good news. To embrace and to listen to the rest of this good news, watch this video to the end. For those that are coming here for the very first time, my name is Okpayemi, and I want to thank you for coming to watch my video. And I want to encourage you to also please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can benefit from every video that I upload as soon as they are available online. I want to also thank my regular subscribers for always coming back to watch my videos. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. And today is a good news. Amazing good news. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the new rule announced by the UK government, a 5-year visa for unskilled worker. On this visa, you don't have to have experience. You don't need any experience. You don't need to be an expert in that field, in whatever field you are coming through. I am going to share all of this to you. Now, one of the things in this one of the reasons this visa was established is designed for unskilled worker or low skilled worker, making it easier for individuals to come to the UK and seek job opportunities in the country. Also, it also aimed to address the shortage of labor in different sectors, especially It also aimed to address labor shortages in key sectors, providing straightforward pathways for workers to contribute to the UK economy. Also, the UK seasonal worker visa allows individuals with job offer to work in the UK for up to 6 months. So I'm going to share with you in this video every information you require and how to start this application. So as you can see on my screen, this visa is called the temporary work visa, also the seasonal work visa. So taking you through, you can see you can apply for the seasonal work visa to come to the UK in these roles. 1, horticulture for up to 6 months. For example, what you'll be doing is picking up fruits, picking up vegetables or flowers. Another thing you will also be doing is probably working in the poultry section from 2nd of October to 31st of December in the same year. Now, you can apply for poultry seasonal work visa by 15th November of each year. So you can apply for the horticultural seasonal work visa at any time of the year. So what you need to do is to have a sponsor. That is, you need to have an employer. Also, you need to meet the eligibility requirement. And this visa has replaced, like I mentioned, the temporary worker. So now it's going to take you 3 months before the day you have to start your work in the UK. That is, it's going to take you 3 months. The visa is going to take you 3 months before you start. Then the date is listed on your certificate of sponsorship. Now let me make let me make the explanation more elaborate now. Now, if you're coming for this job, you need a sponsor. That is, you need an employer. So your employer is going to give you what is called the certificate of sponsorship. This certificate makes you to be able to work legally in the UK in this sector mentioned to you. I mean the poultry or the horticulture section of this part of the workforce now. So you can work there if you have a sponsor. That means to say that you need a sponsor for this program. You need a sponsor. Okay, so it's going to take you 3 months. As part of your application, you need to prove your identity and provide your documents. Everything you do in the UK needs documentation. You provide all documents. Maybe if of course your skill is not necessarily needed, But of course, because you have document, you have maybe your bachelor's degree, you have your SSCE, you have your WAEC result, whatever document you have, you will need to upload them. Even if you have MSc and you want to embrace this opportunity, upload your MSc certificate. Let them just upload all that you have, because you never can tell what is going to give you the opportunity. So embrace all documents that is necessary for this relocation process. Your WAEC results, your BSc, whatever degree or certificate you have, just upload it. And don't forget that you would definitely upload your CV. You might have ensure you have a good CV. I mean to say that have a good CV that can also be appealing and capture the mind of whatever employer that you will be looking into. You also, of course, your passport, your international passport will also be needed, and every other documents you need I'm going to show you here. Now, how much does this cost? Okay, getting the decision. Now, you may need to allow extra time if you need an appointment to do this. That is, as part of your application, you will need to prove your identity and prove your documents. So you may need to allow extra time if you need an appointment to do this. You will find out if you need one when you start application. So once you applied online, proved your identity and provide your document, you will usually get a decision on your visa within 3 weeks. This means within 3 weeks, you would know if you are coming to the UK to work for 6 months or not. Now, how much does this cost? Now, you will need to pay application fee. But first of all, you will have to prove that you have enough personal savings for this procedure. That is, it is called a proof of fund. You will need the proof of fund for this relocation process. However, the application fee is £298 for this application fee, and for me, I will say that is cool enough. So how long can you stay in the UK? You can stay in the UK for up to 6 months for the horticulture work, then from 2nd of October to 31st December each year for poultry work. I'm sure that is clear. You can enter the UK as soon as the visa is valid, up to 14 days before the start date of your job. So you can do that. Now, what you cannot do, please, you need to note this. A lot of people embrace opportunity, they are happy and excited about opportunities like this, and they forget to look into things that they cannot do or things that they must not do. Please note that on this job, you can work in the job description that is on your certificate of sponsorship. You can also study, that is, for some courses you will need an academic technology approval scheme certificate. That's not for everybody anyways, but you cannot take a permanent job role. Some people will say that this is a method to come to the UK. When you get here, of course, I don't know if you get here and you decide if you're able to get a job that give you CUS as a permanent person. I don't know, as a permanent resident, I don't know. I'm not sure if that is possible. That is more or less like you are switching your visa, and I'm not sure that is going to be allowed. If it's going to be allowed, of course you get to know later, but I'm not sure it's going to be allowed in this scenario. Then now, you can't take a permanent job role, so any job role that is permanent, you can embrace it. Now, you can only work in the job description in your certificate of sponsorship. Let me say this now. If you're working in poultry or in horticulture, you cannot go and work in healthcare sector. It is not allowed. Now, you cannot work in a second job or a job that isn't described in your certificate of sponsorship. A lot of people need to hear this, and that is why I'm repeating it. Get public funds. You can't get public funds. What that means is that you cannot, with this visa, get public funds, like maybe say you want to rent accommodation from the government. No, you can't. You can't get anything for free, so to say. Let me quote it that way, quote and unquote, which is, funds from the government. Now you can't get them. Then you also cannot bring members with you. You can't bring your family members with you. So for me, I'm going to say that this opportunity is for people to come in, work, of course, make money. If you choose to go back, fine. But I think this job from horticulture, you can move into, the poultry. So you might have to be, but it's just for 6 months. After 6 months, I think you can go back, then reapply again. Of course, if your employer sees that you're a good lad, you are good with whatever you're doing, you're a perfect person for the job, they might look into, it's their choice to decide if they can make you a permanent staff or not. So please, you need to know all of these things. I also want to mention to you that when it comes to eligibility requirements now, eligibility requirements states as follows. 1, you must be 18 or over when you apply and have both of the following. You must have number one, you must have the certificate of sponsorship reference number from your UK sponsor. It means that the first thing to do to embrace this opportunity is to search looking for jobs in horticulture or poultry. And I'm very sure that there are a lot of vacancies in that sector. That is why the UK government is creating or announcing a visa for 5 years in that regard. So that is a lot. So you can only do the job within that sector. Once you're done with horticulture, you can move into poultry, into agriculture, and into poultry, and you can do that, on and on like that. Of course, it's a 5 years visa. So again, you need enough money to support yourself in the UK. This, you will usually need to have at least £1,270 unless you are exempted. What will make you exempted now? Now, the exemption you will have, or you can have, is if your employer who is giving you the certificate of sponsorship is willing to take or embrace your maintenance. So if your employer is embracing your maintenance, you will see it in your certificate of sponsorship. If your employer is going to take care of this particular bill, that is your maintenance, your accommodation, give you an accommodation, pay for it, maybe for like 1 month thereabout. It's usually for 1 month. If your employer is going to do that for you, then of course you don't need to pay this money, but it's going to be mentioned in your certificate of sponsorship. Apart from that, you will need to have a proof of fund of £1,270. So now your employer must make sure your job pays at least the minimum wage. Now, for those that don't know, the minimum wage here says that for school leaving age, like you're just leaving school, like let me put it in the after your secondary school now, you to get the minimum wage. Now the minimum wage, let's look at this. If you are 21 and over, your minimum wage is £11.44. If you are 18 to 20, your minimum wage is £18.60. If you are under 18, £6.40. Of course, this position is for people above 20. So if you are above 20, it's either you are earning £8.60 or you are earning £11.44. That is the minimum wage. And trust me, the country is really strict at this. Nobody is going to pay you below your minimum wage. So you need to know that now. So now, and follows the UK rule for how many hours a week you can work. Yes. So you will get to know how many hours you can work in a week. Let me see if you can see that here. Let me see. Okay, it's not here. You don't have it here. How many hours you can work? We don't have the hours here. But of course, you will get to know how many hours. It will even be mentioned in your letter of employment. Yes, you will. It will be mentioned there. Okay, so also about certificate of sponsorship. Now it says the certificate of sponsorship is a reference number which holds information about the job and your personal details. It's not an actual certificate or paper document. It's just like a reference number. So once the reference number is put into the maybe home office system, it will pop up every information about you. Now you will need to add your sponsor will give you your certificate of sponsorship reference number. You will need to add your certificate of sponsorship reference number to your visa application form. Now this is the procedure. You get a job first. You get an employer that is ready to give you a certificate of sponsorship. Once they give you the certificate of sponsorship, there is a number attached to it. That is the certificate of sponsorship reference number. So when you are applying for this visa, you would have to impute that certificate of sponsorship in a position. There's a place in your visa where you have to paste that you have the reference number to your certificate of sponsorship, and that is where you now be able to move and continue forward with your visa application. Having said that, the certificate of sponsorship is valid for 3 months. From the date it's assigned to you, it becomes valid. So guys, you will have to travel within that period. You have to travel within that period. It's valid for 3 months. After 3 months you didn't use it, it's gone. It's become a waste. So now, about the money you need to support yourself, you must have at least 1,270 in bank account to show you can support yourself in the UK. The UK government does not support how do I do it now? You can't come to UK and be walking up and down, finding it difficult to survive and all of that, and that's the reason they want you to have this money in your account, so you can help yourself, fund yourself for all of this before your payments start coming in, depending. So if your employer is giving you is taking care of your maintenance, then it means you don't have to have this money. You necessarily don't have to have it. But either way, I encourage people, have something in your pocket. Don't come empty-handed. That is, even if your employer is taking care of your maintenance. But if your employer is not taking care of your maintenance, you will need 1,270. Out of this 1,270, you would rent an apartment not less than on the average, just budget £500 for your rent. That is for 1 month. So others could be for your feeding and other things, your transportation and all of that. So now, having said that, let's look at how to apply. Okay, the documents you need to apply. The documents you need to apply is not much. Like I said, your certificate of sponsorship reference number, a valid passport or other document that shows your identity and nationality. So you will definitely need your passport. Most times it's your passport, or maybe your national ID card, or whatever ID card they also require from you. Now they also need evidence that you have enough personal savings to support yourself in the UK. We have mentioned that already. That is, if your sponsor is not taking care of your maintenance, you will need to provide a POF for yourself. Now you need a blank page in your passport for visa. If you have another type of travel document, of course you are good to have it. So it means you need your visa, and your visa, your passport rather, and of course your passport must have empty page where they can paste your visa. You must also provide a certificate translation of any documents that are not in English. So if you have any documents that are not in English, you will need to provide a translated version of it. I hope that is clear enough. So guys, this is just all for this job, for this seasonal worker visa. I would like to know your opinion about it. I would like to know what your reaction is about this. If you like to embrace it, if you would like to embrace this, I'm just going to drop the application link in the comment section. You can get to read about it. If you need more clarification, you can go through, but I can tell you that I've explained everything you need for this process. But to start this procedure, of course, I'm going to leave the application link in the comment section, and I would like you to also subscribe to this YouTube channel. How do I mean? After now, I'm going to ensure that I get jobs that fit into this visa. I'll search for for employers who needs people in poultry and horticulture, and you can get to apply to those jobs, and I think it's a good one for you. So guys, I'd like you to stay connected to this YouTube channel. This is just for the benefit of everybody. So if you find this video helpful, and I will encourage you to please share with your friends, share with family, share with people around you. They can come to the UK, work and make money for themselves, and after some time, of course, they will be able to get other opportunities. Of course, even with this, they can stay in the UK for 5 years. It is what it is. So guys, embrace this opportunity. Don't sleep on it, and I'm going to see you guys again in my next video. Don't forget to like, so that YouTube can recommend this video for other YouTube viewers. Thank you guys for watching this, and I know you're going to apply to this opportunity. Don't miss it.